Are you the leader of a high-performance team environment? If you are, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to gain your perspective and input on what it took for you to be able to establish that team so you can proudly state that they are a high-performance team, that they're delivering and exceeding on expectations, that they're delivering for you amazing results. Well, as many of you know, the Defender is all about providing tools and capabilities to aspirational leaders and to inspire leaders of today to be great. And as many of you know, it is not that easy to establish a high-performance team environment. So what are some of the characteristics that you want to be able to strive for if you are in that aspirational or that current leadership position? One of the most important aspects for a high-performance team is to ensure that you're focusing in on bringing individuals into the organization with a diverse set of experiences and background, approaches, and ideas. You want to make sure that you're encouraging that space where people can come together and actually hash out ideas, challenge each other, and ultimately come up with an even better or an optimal solution. Another important aspect of a high-performance team is, of course, you want to make sure that you're focusing in on a common set of objectives that everyone ascribes to, and that you also lay out what your expectations are, and people sign up to this, in terms of what your values are. Establishing trust, as an example, is an important aspect of a high-performance team, because those individuals know that each other person within the team is actually going to have their back, as opposed to stabbing them in the back. And that happens a lot, as you know. It happens a lot within organizations. So establishing trust is just so critical to the success of a high-performance team. Ultimately, what you also want to be able to do is you want to get to a point where you're actively engaged with that team in providing consult, guidance, input, and insight. So performance management, not in that negative term, but managing for optimal performance, is also an important ingredient in a high-performance team. So as a leader or manager, spend the time with each individual within your team, focusing in on the steps that they're taking in order to help you achieve the overall objective. Coach and guide them, provide them with input, pat them on the back when they have great success, and point out and provide some insight when there may be some challenges, an error, a fault, or whatever that might be, so that you actually can learn from those experiences, but do it in a positive and a trusting environment. Because guess what? They'll learn at the end of the day what's necessary in order to be successful. And actually coming through adversity together actually gets you to a point where you're much stronger as a team overall. So you've heard this notion of forming, norming, and storming. I think it's a great foundation as well, and a thing in terms of concept supporting a high-performance team environment. So I challenge those existing leaders today, if you don't have a high-performance team in place, you can actually lay out a great foundation and accomplish something that you could be very, very proud of. So take the challenge. And for those of you who have that high-performance team environment in place, let me know again. I'd love to hear from you. Again, you're watching The Defender. I'm Gregory Wade.